Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Pokemon Heart Gold. We are going to hopefully beat the game with only a Volbeat. I want to use a Volbeat because I haven't really used a Volbeat before, and I tend to forget that this thing actually exists. So I picked up a Volbeat. I named him Lumia, I believe, or Luma. Yeah, Luma. And then we're going to go ahead and battle our rival for the first time. He has a Cyndaquil. I decided to go to level 7 here just so I could eventually take him down. And I do pretty easily. Next up is Falkner. I actually thought that I'm going to have a few problems here, but I did go through the tower beforehand. I did get a few levels here. I just spammed double team. I know that it's a cheap way to win, but I had no good moves at this point, and I didn't want to spend too much time leveling up here, and I didn't want to be too over leveled for the rest of the game. And I don't think that I used double team as much as I thought I would, but somehow Pidgeotto manages to hit so many times through the double teams, and that was really annoying. But I eventually won. Next up, we battled Team Rocket, Proton in the Slowpoke well, and we took him down pretty easily. He has a Zubat and a Coughing, um, and we just spam tackle through that. We do eventually get better moves than tackle though. Next up is Gym Leader Bugsy. He took a few tries because he could do a lot of damage to me. I did eventually get him to switch out into Metapod, and I could take that down slowly but surely. And I had Moonlight at this point, so that was really useful. I wish that it was. I wish that I had other moves, but I did eventually take down Scyther before it could actually switch out. And it did go into Kakuna here. I healed up and then I got confused. This was one long battle, but after I won, the game got a little bit easier. And I just realized that I cut before I actually defeated Saturday, which is so stupid. I didn't mean to do that, but I don't feel like doing this entire game again, so sorry about that. I did eventually defeat Bugsy. Next up we had to battle Akka, and Akka was pretty easy. He starts with Quilava, we take that down pretty easily. He doesn't go for a fire type move for some reason. Next up is Zubat. Zubat is doing a lot of damage to us and we're confused, and that's really annoying. Come on. Oh yeah, we have Roost, not Moonlight, I forgot. I actually didn't know that Luma could learn Roost, but it was super useful in the battles because I couldn't use items to heal up, but I could use Roost to heal up, and that was really nice because I could outlast enemies really easily. Next up we had to battle Whitney, and I had to level up a little bit before I could defeat her. I did try a few times. I did have Signal Beam at this point, so that was really good. I did eventually defeat her at level 26 and I leveled up to level 27 after that pretty easily. Next up was another battle with Akka, and he starts with a Ghastly. We go for 2 Signal Beams, we take that down pretty easily. Next up is a Quilava, and we go for a few Signal Beams, taking that down. Next up is a Zubat. Oh yeah, I boosted my special attack there, so that's why I'm doing so much damage. Zubat eventually goes down. It isn't a threat yet. And Magnemite eventually goes down as well in one Signal Beam. And we didn't want to learn Protect there. Next up we battled Morty. Morty could be really hard or really easy, but I had Zack Headbutt, so I just spammed that. And took down his entire team pretty easily. I did I did do a few things beforehand, so that's why I was so high of a level there. Next up we battled Yuzin, and I think that we actually won for once. I usually lose against him, but yeah, I won pretty easily here. Next up was Chuck, and we had Zyke Headbutt, so that wasn't a problem. We did take him down pretty easily without taking much damage, so that was pretty easy. Next up was Jasmine, and I just spammed Signal Beam on her entire team. Or actually raised my special attack beforehand. And then I just spammed Bug Buzz. I forgot that I actually forgot Signal Beam at this point. So I just spammed Bug Buzz after that, and she was pretty easy to take down. I actually thought that she would give me a lot more problems. Next up we battled Petrol again, and he starts with Azu, but we go for Zen Headbutt there. And then we go for Zen Headbutt again. And last but not least, we go for Bug Buzz, and we take that Raticate down. Next up we had to battle Ariana, and we battle with Lance here. It was pretty easy. We're super overleveled here because this game is super bad when it comes to levels. We do take her entire team down with a combination of Bug Buzz and Zen Headbutt. So that was pretty easy. Her Murkrow actually gave me a little bit of a problem, but I didn't expect much from this. Because Team Rocket is super bad in this game. Next up we had to battle Bryce, and his team was pretty easy. I just spammed Bug Buzz. And I took it down pretty easily. Dugong actually survived, but it got healed up, but it got taken out the next turn with another Bug Buzz, so that was pretty easy. Next up we had to battle Petrol again, and I just spammed Zen Headbutt through his entire team. His whizzing could be annoying, but it got taken down into Zen Headbutts without doing much damage to me, luckily. And the rest of his team just goes down to Zen Headbutt. I'm really glad that I learned that move, because it was super useful. I did get poisoned there, and I could go down to poison, but I luckily didn't. I luckily outsped his entire team, and I just took it down pretty easily before I got poisoned. Next up we had to battle Akka again, and I go with Zen Headbutt on the Golbat, taking that down in one shot. Next up we use Bug Buzz on Quilava. We take a little bit of damage, but the next turn we actually take that down before it can actually hurt us. Magnemite paralyzes us because it takes two hits to go down. Counter only gets a min look off, and it gets taken down. And last but not least is a Snizzle that goes down pretty easily before it can do much damage to me. Next up we have to battle Proton again, and we go with Zen Headbutt and Golbat, and we go with Zen Headbutt on the Whizzing, who survives, but it luckily doesn't do much damage to me before it gets taken down, so that was really easy. Next up we have to battle Ariana again, and we go with Zen Headbutt and Arbok nearly taking it down the next turn. Next up is a Murkrow. I accidentally misclicked there, but the next turn it actually goes down pretty easily, and Zen Headbutt takes down Vileplume too. I can't speak today, I have no idea why. And next up was another Rocket Executive, and I just spammed Bug Buzz. Oh yeah, it was Archer, I forgot what was his name, but his team goes down pretty easily. Because I have Bug Buzz. And next up we have to battle Claire, and we just go ahead and set up on the Gyarados, who only knows Dragon Rage, but Bug Buzzes actually take it down. We leave on 35 health, which is really annoying. But Dragonite goes down in one single Bug Buzz. So does Kingdra. And so does the other Dragonite, so that was really lucky. If she had Dragonites, I would have problems. Next up is Sneasel, and we go ahead and set up on the Sneasel. Or actually, next up is our rival, not Sneasel. We take that down pretty easily. Next up is Typhlosion, who does a lot of damage to us, but it gets taken down in a single Bug Buzz. And Golbat goes down in a single Zen Headbutt. A single Bug Buzz takes down Magneton. Counter goes down pretty easily, but it does do a little bit of a damage to me. And luckily I outspeed Kadabra there, and I take that down with a single Bug Buzz. Next up we battle Will of the Elite Four, and we just set up on the Xatu. And then we go for Bug Buzz and take that down. We take down the next Xatu the same way. We take down the Jinx in the same way. And we take down Execute in the same way, obviously, because it's super weak to bug type moves. and Slowbro goes down in a single bug buzz too. Next up we have to battle Koga, and we just spam Zen Headbutt through his entire team. And it goes down pretty easily. Crowbat actually survives and does a lot of damage to me, but luckily it goes down in another Zen Headbutt because I don't miss there. Venombot goes down in a single Zen Headbutt. We set up on Fortress and we use Bug Buzz there to take that down because it decided not to attack me. And we take down Muck in a single Bug Buzz as well. Next up is Bruna, and we go with Zen Headbutt on the... or we set up on Hitmontop because it can't actually hurt me. And then I go for Bug Buzz for his entire team and take that down pretty easily. Hitmonlee goes down. I actually missed the Zen Headbutt there. And he hit me with a Blaze Kick, but I managed to take it down with a single Bug Buzz. That could have ended really badly, but it didn't. Next up was Karen, and she starts with an Umbreon, so I set up on that, like always. And I do manage to get confused there and hurt myself in confusion, but after that I just took down her entire team with a Bug Buzz, because I was super strong at this point, and I just took down her team pretty easily, without a problem. Her Gengar actually gave me a little bit of a trouble because it survived and it got healed up, but after that it went down pretty easily. Last but not least was Champion Last, and I go with setting up on the Gyarados again because it can't really hurt me. I nearly go down there. I'm left with 10 HP, but after that I just spammed Bug Buzz through his entire team and I just took it down pretty easily. I did have Thunder for Charizard, so that was pretty good. Luckily I hit that there. I took down Dragonite pretty easily. I took down the other Dragonite pretty easily. And the third Dragonite goes down in a single Bug Buzz. I didn't expect that. They are super bulky usually, but not that bulky, I guess. I did skip through most of the Kanto like usually because they're not that strong. The only strong trainers in the Kanto region are actually Blue and Red, so that's the two trainers I'm going to battle in this game. Or I'm not even sure if I showed the Blue battle because I don't think that he was that hard in this game. Because Volbeat is actually surprisingly strong. You set up on things and then you just spam Bug Buzz through the entire team. Oh yeah, I forgot, I actually had to battle my rival for the last time. In Mount Moon. I just set up on the Snizzle and then I swept his entire team with Bug Buzz, I believe. Snizzle goes down in a single Bug Buzz. The Explosion gets a flamethrower up, but that barely does any damage to me. And it goes down to a single Thunder. Golbat goes down to a single Thunder, and I do have leftovers now, so that's pretty good. Magneton goes down to a single Bug Buzz. And Alakazam goes down to a single Bug Buzz. And Gengar goes down to a single Bug Buzz, or it actually survives, but it doesn't get healed up, so it goes down to another Bug Buzz. Next up we had to battle Blue, and I just went with Bug Buzz. Or I just set up on Executor because it couldn't actually hurt me. It could put me to sleep, but it could barely do any damage to me. And then I just swept his entire team with Bug Buzz. Arcanine came out and I just nearly died to Flare Blitz there, but a single Thunder actually takes that down because of recoil. I'm not sure if it would take it down if it wasn't for the recoil. I just used Thunder on Pidgeot. A single Giga Drain actually takes down a Rhydon. And we use Bug Buzz on Machamp. Which doesn't take it down, but the next one does. So that's good. And last but not least is a Gyarados, and we go for Giga Drain, taking, getting a little bit of a health back. And the next Giga Drain actually takes it down. Next up is Red, and this one took only one try, I believe. I did get set up on the Pikachu data a little bit, and then I just went for Giga Drain and took that down pretty easily. Next up was Charizard, so I just went for Thunder data and took that down in one shot. Next up was Snorlax, so I finished setting up on that. And then I went for Giga Drain, doing a lot of damage and healing a lot in the process. And it's not. It's trying to take me down, but it can't, so. I do eventually take that down in a few tries. Because I outspeed that. Next up is Lapras, so I go for another Giga Drain. And I heal up a lot from that. It hits Blizzard, but it can't take me down, so another Giga Drain actually takes it down. Next up is Blastoise, it goes down to a single Giga Drain. Or to 2 Giga Drains because it can't really hurt me again. Charizard was the only threat and it went down to a single Thunder, so that was really good. And next up is Venusaur, and we just went for Bug Buzz. Taking that down into hits because it can't really take me down because it's a grass type. So that was that for this